Welcome back to Two Guys, One Pod.
That's right, the podcast where we talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
And today we're going to be talking about anything Dragon Ball related. As always, I'm here with Chris.
And I'm here with Travis. And when he says anything, we mean anything. We're going to jump around from video games to the Dragon Ball series to Dragon Ball Z. Maybe even touch on GT. Ooh, sensitive subject. And Super. We might even hit the live-action Dragon Ball movie.
Can I possibly groan any harder than when you mentioned GT? Yes.
Yes. And that would be with the live-action Dragon Ball movie from America, which was god-awful.
Complete garbage.
God-awful. It was the most garbage thing I ever heard of in my life.
I'm glad I never watched it. I've seen the scenes. I've seen a lot of different stuff. I'm so glad that I never watched it.
As a teenager, got kind of excited for it because I was like,
of course.
Because I was like, maybe. And then I seen the commercial and I was like, nope. Nope.
Well, I mean, as you know, a young naive person now, and I guess probably because there's been so many epic fails of anime style switchovers to the big screen that have just been terrible. I've also heard bad things about Death Note.
Netflix. Hold on. The Netflix one is god fucking awful. Holy shit.
That's what I'm saying.
It's awful.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. I can't say that I'm aware of any of the anime transition to the big screen, to the live action. There's a reason why, animes do so well, because they're animes and they're drawn in and they're not real people. That's one of the big things that animes can get away with a lot of different things, and you just can't do it with physical, actual people. And you would think they'd learn by now.
Well, see, now I have watched the live-action Death Note movies from Japan.
Are those any good?
Those are tons better than the one we got here. I fairly enjoyed them. They stayed a little bit true to the manga and to the anime series. But I have not. I think there is Dragon Ball live-action movies from.
I've seen some stuff on YouTube, like it was based on like Trunks's, like future Trunks, like with the androids. Those look promising, but I've never seen nothing but clips on YouTube. If I can hold on, just go ahead, Chris. I'll get you an exact name.
I was just wondering, like I've not seen them. I think I've seen like maybe from like Japan or China or Korea. South Korea actually is a big promoter in like, I don't know, like live action anime adaptations. There is quite a bit actually from, it looks like, from different countries. Just researching it now, there's like there's a Saiyan Saga. It's a short film.
I was gonna say it's it's called Dragon Ball Z: Light of Hope.
Yeah, there's a Legendary Warrior. There's a couple different ones. It looks like there's names.
They look like
there's one.
They'd probably be decent, but
I doubt they'll be decent because there's ones called Dragon Ball: The Magic Begins, and it looks awful. but it'd probably be a lot funner than Dragon Ball Evolution, I think it was called here. Yeah, it would definitely be a lot better to check out there. Which Dragon Ball is based off of, loosely, of course, based off of Journey to the West, an old Chinese novel, folk tale, I guess. Yeah, based off Journey to the West. Pretty cool, interesting fact there. But Evolution was terrible. Let's talk about something that wasn't terrible. The original Dragon Ball anime. I love that series. That has to be my favorite out of them all. Out of Z, of course, I've seen Z first as a American child. Watched it on Toonami, but Dragon Ball has to be my favorite out of them all. I have to say.
Yeah. I can't say it's my favorite. I think Z is my favorite, just solely based on I guess how it was more elevated, I guess.
Right. Well, like the monsters in Dragon Ball don't compare to the monsters in Z or the enemies in Z.
Yes. And I guess I'm not going to leave it out. I was going to, but I'm not. But my favorite characters in Dragon Ball Z was introduced. So Vegeta, it's my all-time favorite Dragon Ball character.
Yeah, he was a good character.
Still is.
Arguably.
I'm
not seen Super.
I'm
not seen Super.
What'd you say? You have seen?
I've not seen Super, so I can't comment on Super.
I was gonna say I've only seen clips. I wished
they're getting ready to end Super, apparently.
That's what I heard. Yeah, it's about to be over.
But they've been going on for like 7 or 8 seasons in Japan. Just America's really slow about getting Super for some reason.
Well, yeah, I think the process of it being, well, I don't think it's that hard to dub it, but I guess it's hard to get all the
to dub it and sync it and stuff. I mean, I guess it might be, but it just seems like they took a really long time to start that process.
They did. It was like 3 or 4 seasons in before they even started on season 1.
Yeah,
and I've only seen a handful. But it's sad to know that it's coming to an end, because, well, I mean, they don't know what they'll do after. It's not like set in stone.
Apparently, GT is, with the introduction as Super, GT is not a thing, but then some fans, I guess, have proposed that it actually is because of
like in a different universe, like a different time, like how Trunks changed the how like when Trunks come back in time to stop Cell, it altered the universe. Well, GT is just an altered universe, is what they're saying. It doesn't fit in the Dragon Ball to Super timeline, from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z into Dragon Ball Super. I'm gonna do a pop culture reference. It's a straight line, and things like GT is like a curve off of that straight line. That's how.
Right. So like it's fans have proposed that it's an alternate universe, with alternate realities, because as Super, we've learned that that's a thing. So with them, so
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Dragon Ball, as a kid, like, I seen very little of Z. Like, I always wanted to watch it, but I never had cable. And then when I did get cable, I kind of was not interested in watching it. And then for some reason, I don't know, like, I thought about maybe trying to watch it again, and I started with Dragon Ball, because I wanted to do it in order and fell in love right from the start of Dragon Ball. Just, of course, watching
As
it.
anyone would.
Yeah,
Dragon Ball is a classic anime.
classic. It has to be one of my favorite.
It's probably not. I mean, as a consensus, it's by far the most notable, the very most you know, it's definitely the biggest anime of history, and that's kind of bold hearing, but it's definitely the most ongoing. It's lasted the longest, and
No. Stamp. That's too bold to say. That's not the case at all. Several series have surpassed it.
really,
Yeah,
I'm not deep into anime, so go ahead,
there's
fill me in.
there's an anime series that's been going on in Japan since the '60s.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
And it's still going. It's still going to this
yeah,
day.
still going.
Oh wow. Well, okay. Let's backtrack. Let's backtrack to make that statement true. The most Americanized anime. That's fair to say, right?
I think that One Piece might beat it actually, because One Piece is still
Really?
continuing to this day, and Naruto might even actually beat it in episode count.
Well, I didn't say episode count. I said length. Like it's still relevant. Like after that many years. One Piece. Let's see. One Piece. Let's see. It says I'm getting a year of 1997.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
and I'm not saying that it won't eventually beat it, but I'm saying like Dragon Ball started in the 80s, correct?
yeah, I believe so. I believe the '80s.
Um, and that's Dragon Ball, and then you got Dragon Ball Z, which again there was lapses in between. I'd say I know there was between Z and Super. I mean, Dragon Ball Z ended in the late 90s, correct? And then Super didn't pick up until
No, I'll tell you. So the anime started 1986, so February 26th, and lasted till 1989. I'll go to Z. Z original runtime was 1989 to 1996.
mm-hmm.
GT
Oh, I think GT. I forgot
original
about GT.
runtime was 1996 to 1997. And Super started in 2015 and still going on today.
So there was great big lapses in time.
Yeah, there was great big gaps, pretty much.
Yeah.
But Suzui-san is the longest running anime. Current episode count is 7,542 plus.
Oh wow.
Started October 5th of 1969 and is currently still in production.
But does any like? I mean, as long as you're not I'd say a casual anime watcher, as that's what I would call myself. You're probably higher up on probably closer to I wouldn't say hardcore, but you're definitely above a casual anime watcher.
Well, this one's like more like a comic strip kind of anime, I guess, cartoon.
Oh, well, what I'm getting at is, were you very familiar with this? Let me backtrack.
Backtrack a
I
little
want to
bit.
say in America, because we're not, obviously anime is 10 times bigger in Japan than it is here. Because that's where, obviously they all start. They're all Japanese shows.
Yeah.
For Americans, Western population,
I still think
Dragon Ball is probably the most.
it's definitely like I'll say this. So
I'm gonna say the favorite.
Dragon Ball Z is a fave amongst American anime fans.
Yes, it's probably the most well known in America. It's probably the
Possibly.
most well known.
I'll say possibly.
You think about all the. I've seen some stuff on the internet. How many American cartoons have
Pokemon.
referenced? Oh, Pokemon. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's-
yeah. OKKO, like it's a cartoon in production on Cartoon Network right now that is very heavily referenced to Dragon Ball and showing anime and mangas.
I've seen Teen Titans.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Robin went Super Saiyan.
yeah.
Did you see that?
No.
I've not seen the episode, but I've seen.
It might be from Teen
clips.
Titans Go, or is it from Action?
It's probably Teen Titans Go. Yeah.
Um,
But either way, it's a very popular in the U.S. is what I'm getting at. It's probably one of the most popular animes in the U.S.
yeah, I'd say that. Definitely one of the more popular animes of the U.S. and I don't know, it was a favorite of mine.
Oh yeah, mine too.
Favorite after I discovered it later, it became a favorite. Obviously, I was an American kid, so my favorite was Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon. You know, one of those two, or Digimon, the well-beloved Digimon.
Digimon was kind of cool too. Yeah, I watched all these, but Dragon Ball just towers over them when it comes to favorite. Like, yeah, I watched the early Pokemon and I probably wouldn't watch Pokemon today. I don't want to say I wouldn't. I don't, and I haven't in like forever. And I was big on Digimon too. I watched Digimon pretty heavily, but I fell out of it. The only one that still stands strong with me is Dragon Ball from my childhood. Now I picked up Naruto as an adult, and a few others. Well, I still like what was that anime? It would come on after Dragon Ball Z
How
on
many times I gotta
Toonami.
tell
Yu
you
Yu
this?
Hakusho.
Yeah, that's what to
Yu
say.
Yu Hakusho.
Um,
Yu Yu Hakusho was really cool.
It was, but like that Dragon Ball Z is like, for me, is like one of the main staples of Toonami.
Oh, it is. It is.
And I feel like Dragon Ball plays an important part in the fact of introducing Japanese animation to Western culture. I mean,
Yeah, it was definitely got the foot in the door for anime
yeah,
over here in the U.S.
yeah. I feel like it set the foot in, like, because adults could, enjoy it because it wasn't like kid toned. It still had like a kid tone to it, but still was a action cartoon, so adults could get into it. Like there was story.
It was definitely across the board.
Yeah.
It hit all viewers.
And so, like adults are like, oh, cartoons just aren't for kids. Maybe I can enjoy some more of this Japanese,
Yeah.
animation. So I feel like it played a big staple in that, definitely, as well as, favorable in childhoods and nostalgia. I mean, this show is like you were saying earlier, you could talk to anybody about this show pretty much. Somebody has a memory of this show almost all the time.
Yes. Yes. Outside of anime, let's just talk about like adult animation. Outside of The Simpsons, was there big adult animation shows
Outside of The Simpsons, not really, because The Simpsons
in the late '80s and early '90s?
The Simpsons were the first to at least push it to mainstream TV. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They were at least the first to push it to mainstream. Then of course a lot of people followed followed suit with like Beavis and Butthead, Mike Judge,
Yes,
and then King of the Hill, and
all
Family
the Mike
Guy.
Judge class.
Yeah, and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
but those all came in the late '90s, mid to late '90s. Like with Beavis and Butthead being the probably the earliest,
Well, that's about the time
and that
that
group.
Dragon Ball aired over here too, though, is the
That's
'90s.
that's what I was gonna say. It was. Do you correlate any of the adult U.S. cartoons to um, like maybe Dragon Ball? I mean, obviously The Simpsons, opened the door. But do you think the anime, like such as Dragon Ball, helped that process?
Possibly.
It's
Um,
definitely a possibility. I didn't. That's the only reason why I brought it up. I was thinking
if you
that it
find
could
though,
have been possible.
not very many American adult cartoons are action themed. They're
That's true.
usually comedies.
Yeah, even the even the one action adult cartoon that I can think of is definitely outweighed by its comedy, and that was Archer.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course it's action, but let's be honest, it's a comedy.
So yeah, it's definitely a comedy. But this show has played a very important part in a lot of things. The westernization of anime is one of them.
Yes,
Um, Also, I mean, really not even so much Dragon Ball as much as Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z really pushed the boundaries for that.
yes.
And then, it also was awesome. Because here you got like
Oh yeah,
the only
I got
action.
one for you.
Go ahead.
I might not know a whole lot of facts. I might not be able to throw out a lot of them like you do, and that's a compliment that kind of come off as maybe not a compliment, but that was a compliment. But I have one, and you probably know it, and I'm going to throw it out there. Uh, I want to say up until now, but I know it held a record for the longest anime fight. Dragon Ball holds that record. I don't know if it's still to this day, but the fight between Goku and Frieza was the longest anime fight in anime history.
Hmm.
That was a thing. Now, again, I don't know if that still holds up today, but I know as of like at least 2010, it held the record.
Interesting. I did not know that.
I'm
Let's
gonna check just to
let's
make
talk
sure. You go
about
ahead.
let's let's talk about the games.
What's your favorite game?
I don't know. Um, probably Budokai. Probably Budokai 3. Just because that was
Okay,
one of the very first ones I played, the fighting games. But
I want to pause. I'm sorry. Uh, just before you go on, um, just off of Google, uh, I'll read what I got. So technically, the battle between Frieza and Goku is the longest and most drawn out battle between two characters. Frieza and Goku was the long lasting one. In episode 87 to episode 105, the 5 minutes battle, in quotation, 5 minutes, where Frieza kept saying, there's a lot of memes and jokes that Frieza doesn't know how long 5 minutes is because he kept saying in 5 minutes, Namek will explode. Uh, but anyway, uh, apparently it went from episode 87 to 105, and that's just under 20 episodes of a length of a battle. So I
wow.
reckon that, yeah.
I did play a game I really liked on the Wii of Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball. It was an actual Dragon Ball game. It was Dragon Ball Revenge of King Piccolo. I really enjoyed that on the Wii. Are you there, bud?
Are you still there? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I was listening to you. I'm sorry. He was going on about
Oh
Revenge of
no,
Piccolo.
it was just got really silent there. Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry. I
Revenge
was
of
listening to your
Piccolo.
story.
It was a really good game. I really enjoyed it on the Wii. But there is so many Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and games and stuff.
There is. I want to. I have a favorite. Don't rip my head off, but it's actually a series. It's not just one game; it's a series,
Okay.
and it's the Legacy of Goku 1, 2, and Boo's Fury. That was the third game. It wasn't a Legacy of Goku. It was just simply Dragon Ball Z Boo's Fury. But it was definitely the third installment. And those games were on the Game Boy Advance. And I thought they were phenomenal. They were probably my favorite.
I don't think
Not
I've ever
probably. They're hands down my favorite. You should emulate them. I mean, buy them,
buy
not
them,
emulate.
not emulate. We don't condone that on this channel.
You should totally emulate them. But anyway, uh, no, they are hands down my favorite. It's basically just, it's the whole length of Dragon Ball Z, and it's just a playable.
Run through.
It's basically just the playable version of the anime on the Game Boy Advance,
Awesome.
which I thought was phenomenal. I thought it was great. There's not very many extras. There's a little bit I know there's a Hercule side quest in the Legacy of Goku 2 where Hercule is a playable character, and he is awful. Mr. Satan.
Mr. Satan.
Clearly, he is awful compared to the other characters, but it makes it pretty difficult when you get to that. It makes it like it's a challenging little thing. They added in. I guess. I mean, the game's challenging, but that's super challenging. You basically have to go through and as Mr. Satan. And it's a good game. I enjoy it. If you haven't played them, I would push that on you heavily. You might not like them. I do. They're my favorite.
I will.
I did play.
I will buy them as soon as we get done with this podcast.
I enjoy them. Boo's Fury is the best, but that's only because each one got better. The mechanics and everything got better.
Right.
Boo's Fury introduced. You can actually fuse. So that was pretty cool between Goten and Trunks. I don't remember. Yeah, I guess you did with Vegeta and Goku too. But it was awesome.
Now there is an aspect of Dragon Ball, I guess, merchandise. That would be the trading card game, which I did not have any joy of experiencing at all.
Really? I did.
See,
I even got an ultra rare card, and it was a sale. It was a sale. Sorry, go ahead.
Our friend Jeremy, he apparently used to play it. I've never played it.
I never understood how to play it. I did collect them, but I never understood the game.
I heard about it and I've seen it at, I play Magic, still play it, don't play it like I used to, but I've seen it at a card shop I used to go to all the time to play Magic. Like, they have an advertisement for the new set, and I was like, what's this? And checked it out, and yeah, there's that. And apparently was out and gone for a while, then brought back. I don't know how it all worked, but I guess the biggest aspect of this that I missed was the mangas. I don't know how different the manga is from the anime.
I've seen some stuff, basically just researched. I do know that the mangas were a little bit more bloodier and, a little bit more graphic. But outside of that, I can't say.
And for all you Bulma fans out there, if you would like to see Bulma nude. Now I do have the first 2 Dragon Ball mangas.
Yes, you do. I've seen them.
Yeah, there is nude in one of them. I cannot remember which one. It's either one of the 2. Let's go down to your local Barnes and Noble. Just snap a.
And you will get to see Bulma,
Yeah,
a Bulma frontal.
a Bulma frontal, and it's nice for all you Bulma.
And if
fans.
you're anything like me, you had the hots for Bulma.
Oh yeah, she was. Is she the hottest character? I don't know.
Yes, Bulma is. I'll answer that. She's definitely hotter than Chi-Chi. And outside of that, what other girls are there? I mean, Android 18.
Yeah, Android. I don't know. I think Android's hotter than Bulma. She's all mean and stuff. She could.
Yeah, she's pretty stern. But so is Chi-Chi and Bulma. All the women are mean in Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball.
Character must hate his mom or something, or the creator. I say character. But no, it was good. My favorite character. Now we're going to jump to favorite characters, I guess. My favorite, and this is totally controversial.
Can I throw it out there?
Throw it out there. Throw it out there.
Piccolo. Oh, Piccolo's your favorite.
You knew it. You knew it.
Yeah, I did. Piccolo.
So controversial.
Piccolo was an awesome. No. Explain to me how he's controversial.
Because
I
apparently
like Piccolo.
he's useless in Z. I've heard people say he's not. You know, he gets his ass kicked a lot. I don't know. I feel like Piccolo is just he's my favorite character. I love
No, I wouldn't say he's useless. As a matter of fact, let's be completely honest. Any character, if somebody said that Piccolo is useless, then every character other than Goku is useless.
That's true.
And that's not fair because everybody has their own fights. Like, okay, let me just throw out a part where Piccolo wasn't useless. The Android Saga, when Goku got sick, Piccolo and Vegeta and actually Trunks showed up late, but before Trunks showed up, future Trunks, the only ones that could defeat Android 19 and 20 were Piccolo and Vegeta.
May I also point out something?
And I have another one too, so go ahead.
And this I might be wrong about this, but Piccolo is the only one of the Z fighters that's killed Goku. As well as Piccolo is, I think, the only person left alive that's killed Goku.
What do you mean the only person left alive? Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, because Cell is technically dead. Cell killed Goku.
Did Frieza kill Goku?
Frieza did not kill Goku.
Okay. Goku was still dead from... Was he still dead from Piccolo when... I remember Goku came back to fight Frieza.
Came back. I'm sorry, you cut out just a little bit.
Didn't Goku come back to fight Frieza? Like, wasn't...
No. Goku was alive the moment he set foot on Namek, and everybody thought he was dead. And when they went to wish him back with the Namekian Dragon Balls on Earth, because they brought the Namekians back to Earth because their planet was destroyed.
Right.
When time came, because they had to wait so long to use the Dragon Balls. When they went to wish Goku back, the dragon said he could not do that because he wasn't dead. So when the planet exploded, Goku made a narrow escape. He never died fighting Frieza. Is that where your confusion was?
I thought Frieza killed him because he trained with somebody before he fought Frieza, right? He trained in the afterlife.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about.
Didn't he train with like King Kai before he fought Frieza? Or was that after?
That was when Piccolo killed him. When
Yeah.
Piccolo killed him and Raditz, Goku went to the afterlife, trained with King Kai to come back and fight Vegeta and Nappa in the
Okay.
Saiyan saga.
In the Saiyan saga. Okay.
Yeah. And then directly after that, following the Saiyan saga, Vegeta, he escaped Earth because, he was sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's something. How in the world have we talked as long as we have, and I haven't even mentioned
Your favorite character.
Dragon Ball? No. Well, I have mentioned my favorite character, Vegeta. I'm trying not to, be super biased and just talk about Vegeta the whole time. But no, my second favorite thing about Dragon Ball, outside of just Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, is the fact that it has been abridged on YouTube by a group called Team 4-Star, and it is phenomenal. If you have seen Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z and you have not seen Dragon Ball Z abridged, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
It is phenomenal.
It is pretty good.
It is hilarious. It is one of the funniest things that I have ever seen. And it's only funny to you if you've seen the series itself, and they refer to other things. Like that one time on Snake Way, I showed you this because I thought it was the greatest thing ever when they made that Metal Gear Solid reference when he ran across Princess Snake.
Yes.
And you won't you unless you played Metal Gear Solid, you will not get that reference. But you and I have. And it was a great reference, and she talked just like Solid Snake.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious. Snake! But anyways, if you like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and you haven't seen Dragon Ball Z abridged by Team 4-Star on YouTube, what are you doing? Because they're huge. They're huge. I mean, they have over 1 million subscribers. But anyways, not trying to promote them anything, or unless we can, work out some kind of deal with Team 4-Star and become super famous.
God,
I'm willing to do so.
Grasping for straws. Also, like looking at this picture that the audience, you guys will be able to see, only 3 people in this picture have not been Goku's enemy. Trunks, his son.
I'm sorry. What have they not been?
His enemy.
Oh yeah. See all of them in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, Tien and Yamcha.
Yes.
And whatever, I cannot.
Chaozu.
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 I really like him too as a character. But,
Chaozu?
Yeah, Chaozu.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is he one of your favorites? Just because Dragon Ball?
Dragon Ball. He's a badass in Dragon Ball.
Well, yeah, in Dragon Ball he is, but Krillin wasn't really his enemy. They were
Right,
rivals.
but they trained together.
They were hard at it rivals.
Right, but Tien
they wanted to beat
and
each other.
Chaozu, Yamcha, Vegeta, and
Piccolo.
Yeah.
Yep. They were all enemies. Yes. Piccolo carried over into Dragon Ball Z, kinda. It immediately got squashed when Raditz showed up, and they worked together. Piccolo still kind of wanted to take over the world, but through his training of Gohan, which Piccolo is Gohan's real father.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah. He's the one that been there for Gohan more than anybody.
Yeah.
But anyways, through his training of Gohan,
Goku is a very absent, awful dad.
He is. Right after, he didn't even meet Goten until he was 10 years old, or 9 or 10 years old, because he was dead and didn't want to be wished back to life.
Yeah, he's like, I got a baby on the way. I don't want that. Call me when he can take care of himself.
Yeah. And which the wild thing was Goten was so much more advanced than Goku and Gohan he had Super Saiyan. He was the young. Yeah, I guess it's still to this day. He's the youngest ever Super Saiyan.
Yeah, because him and
Reached that
Trunks.
form. Yeah, Trunks is older than Goten.
Is he? Okay.
Uh,
But they were
yeah,
always
Trunks
hanging
is
out
older.
together, so I didn't know.
Well, yeah, they're close in age, but
Oh,
Trunks is older
let's
because
also talk
Goten.
about the Ford Fusion commercials from Dragon Ball Z, where they do the. Have you seen those? You seen the
No,
Ford Fusion commercials? Oh my god,
I have not.
they are awesome. I will put a link to one in the description below to let the
Oh, please
audience
do,
watch
because I
that.
want to see it myself.
Oh my
That
god,
sounds amazing.
it is awesome.
So,
It's the best
so
Ford commercial I've seen in my life.
okay. So if you want to talk about the most, the biggest westernized anime, let's talk about the only one that a Ford, an American car company,
They
uh,
did it with Sailor Moon too, so I mean,
use. Do what?
they did it with Sailor Moon as well.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't watch Sailor Moon. I've
Yeah,
never seen Sailor Moon, so.
I have. It was
That's
another big anime, but like the Americanization of that anime was not good. Like,
okay.
yeah.
Should have been left in Japan. They probably
Well, like
they watered it down too
they
much.
watered it down awful, and then like they would have a message for like girls at the end of it, and like they completely would take like some of the stuff like out of context, and it was like one of those things like on Pokemon where they call the rice balls donuts kind of thing. Like it's not even. Why would you censor that? Like
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean.
the big thing for
See,
cartoons though is like toy sales. So like they felt like they had to make it relate to American kids or they wouldn't sell toys. You know, like it
yeah.
wasn't viewings or ratings or anything. Like it was toy sales.
Well, see, that's not. Okay, yeah, I get that, and in a sense, that's why Pokemon would beat Dragon Ball Z out on the list, and I would say Pokemon would be the only thing, but it's an easy win because yes, they had so much more sales and their merchandise, their merchandising.
Yeah.
I mean, even South Park made fun of Pokemon. They've never made fun of Dragon Ball Z. So, yeah, I guess Pokemon beats them out.
Haven't they though? With like the kids with weapons, like didn't they kind of poke fun at it there?
I don't think it was. That was just an anime. It was like them just making, or not making fun of, but that was just South Park's spin on anime.
Right. I guess the trope
There was no,
was
there was no hard references to any specific anime that I can think of in that episode. I mean, there may have been. I'm not that big of an anime fan,
I
but
guess
there
it was
definitely
just
was.
anime tropes. Like it was
Yeah,
what
it was.
Dragon Ball follows those, of course, being an anime.
Yes,
So, but yeah,
that was one of my favorite episodes
it
of
was a
South Park.
good
By the way,
episode. I've seen it so many times though. I just like every
I
time.
have to.
Um, but I mean, this show has influenced a lot and is a big part of a lot of people's lives. I mean, they don't even know it. Like,
It's definitely mine. I was when uh, me and my wife went car shopping yesterday. We ended up getting one, but after that, we went to go eat at Outback, and one of her friends who lives in Bowling Green was like, "Where y'all eating? We'll come join you." And well, anyways, they did, and it was one of her friends and her husband, and somehow or another we got to talking about like old cartoons or something, and she said something about Dragon Ball Z, and I lost it. I was just like, "Oh, that was, that's still my shit."
and
I'm like,
though
I love Dragon Ball
Travis
Z.
embarrassed himself and his wife.
Oh, I didn't care. It didn't embarrass me. I wasn't the least bit embarrassed. Actually, Savannah, I don't think was either. She jumped in. She even tried to like make fun of me. My wife did. She was like, "Yeah," and well, I mean, like my wife. She
Very
took a little
nice.
jab, but she wasn't the least bit embarrassed. I don't think she gets embarrassed that I'm a grown man child.
Grown man child. Well, like I remember like going over to your house before you guys got internet or something. You would have like that flash drive I think Jeremy gave you, which I gave to him, full of Dragon Ball Z episodes that we purchased.
Yes,
I
yes,
just have
totally.
those
Anyways,
playing. Yeah.
yeah, that was before we got our internet. We was waiting on our internet to come. Like, they give you like, oh, we'll be out in a week or whatever. So I just had everybody in my house watching Dragon Ball Z. Like that's all. That's all they were allowed to watch because, well, I mean, they could have watched DVDs and they did whatever they wanted to in their own rooms, but in the living room,
Everything
Dad,
was sanctioned.
old Dad,
Yeah. Dragon Ball Z only, bro.
yeah, that's what it was. No, we watch movies and stuff too, but for the most part, it was Dragon Ball Z.
That's crazy. Dragon Ball Z is
Yeah.
good though. I mean, I like it. Dragon Ball's still my favorite. And to be honest with you, I didn't mind GT. I know like it's hated, but I did not
You
mind
didn't mind
GT.
what?
GT?
I I didn't listen. I give it a lot of crap. I didn't actually hate it. Compared to everything else, yes, it's easy to say that I hate it, but I didn't hate it. I mean, I watched it, and I liked it, and I liked the differences and stuff like that. But one thing, and this is just me being a little bit butthurt, like Vegeta had nothing to do with GT, and it was all Trunks and Goku and Pan, and that was it. And I like Trunks as a character too, so I guess that's why I didn't exactly hate it. And Goku as a child, because
Yeah, they went back to Kid Goku.
that was cool. I mean, again, and I did see Goku went and fought. Was it Frieza and Cell in Hell
Yeah.
in GT? Yeah, he that happened in GT. Yeah, because he was a kid, and Cell absorbed him. And instead of like absorbing him, like somehow or another, this is a plot hole. Like, so, Cell with his tail can absorb people. But as far as I know, Goku's the only one that was absorbed and didn't break down. He was still like whole, and he basically uh, busted out of Cell. Or did he climb back out? I don't remember.
I don't remember, but I
That
enjoyed
was
the show.
almost. I enjoyed it, but it was almost laughable, because they didn't stand a chance, and
Yeah,
it
I
was.
noticed that they put it more towards a comedic thing, I guess. Instead of being just straight action, they put a lot of comedy into it. A lot of quirky stuff that happened. Like they go on a planet and have to fight giants and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, it was definitely it was just lackluster compared to me. Now some people actually liked it a lot. I like considering that it's not a part of anything. Like it's not canon at all.
yeah,
It's
it's
easy for me to write it off like that though. I was a big fan of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and as far as I've seen, I'm very intrigued in Super. Like this show could go on forever. If you ask me, I would. Most shows need to stop, uh, and this is arguably probably a good thing to stop Super. But for me and a lot of people uh,
see. I feel like
who
shows need like I understand that we don't want shows to end, but I do feel like they need to end because otherwise
yeah,
they're just going to get stale.
I
And
understand.
I
And to
felt
be
like
completely
Z
honest with
was a good ending. I didn't feel like they needed to continue it to GT or even Super. I felt like Z
to
was.
be,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you finish and then I'll jump in.
I was just saying, like, I felt like I didn't need to continue it with Z or Super. I felt like they had an ending. They could have ended it. Like, that's something that, like, that's one reason that deters me from watching Naruto or One Piece or Bleach, because, like, those shows do not seem to know when to call it quits. Like,
You know how hard it is to do that with a still a large fan base.
I know, because
Like
there's so
yes,
much monetary to be made there and so much demand
it
for
is,
that.
and you have fans, and I'm guilty of this with Dragon Ball because I honestly could find some like justification for them going on and on and on forever, even though they just keep doing the same things just on a grander scale. Like you think about it, like let's break it down like this. Like Dragon Ball could have ended and that could have been it. But they 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 scaled it up. Dragon Ball was just based on Earth. Like yeah, we knew Goku um, was an otherworldly creature because of the stories of Gohan and whatnot, and he had a tail, obviously. But like basically, Dragon Ball was condensed down to just Earth, and Dragon Ball Z was scaled up to the universe, and now Super is scaled on the multiverse. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
multiple.
saying? Like,
Yeah,
we're to be honest with you, if they go like Super is good, Super is good. It needs to end with Super because what else could they do without it being crazy? Like, I like the idea of what they're doing now in Super is the different universes and fighting and the gods and like, but what's beyond that? Like, don't don't push it like that. That seems really cool. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I feel you. I don't.
Because like you like how I scaled it too, didn't you? Like, have you ever
Yeah,
thought of it like that?
no, I've never thought of it like that. But I mean, it makes sense. Or like GT, like pushed it even further, like in the universe. I guess they went further and stuff out of the
Yeah,
way, and
they.
like, go ahead.
I'm all for the fact that thinking GT doesn't really count. Like I said, um, but yeah, they kind of pushed the universe thing too far.
Yeah, yeah, they went too far with this multiverse. But I see what you're saying. Like they can end with Super, and it might be okay. But like I'm saying is like shows need to end. Like
Yes, I
I
know. I know how you feel. Again, like I said, I'm guilty of it. Like I would find some justification to continue watching. Like I need to watch Super. Obviously, I've seen a lot of different bits and pieces. I know a lot of things that went on. I just don't know. I know the big things, like obviously Goku Black, um,
right
which was
the things that the internet posts. Like
yeah.
we know a lot.
I've watched a lot of it on YouTube, clips on YouTube, and I can find some justification for it to keep going just because, like,
But like shows that like I've seen like regular show. Like I love that show. That show is my jam. It's awesome. But like they had their I think last year, yeah, last year they had their season finale or series finale. And it was beautiful how it ended. And it was sad, but at the same time, like you grew with these characters, you know, as a whole. You know, you've seen these characters develop and turn into something nice, you know, and this had this beautiful ending with an awesome David Bowie song, and it was awesome. It was a great ending. And then another show, I don't feel like the ending was very good, but I still think the ending was all right. You know, it ended really well, and that was Workaholics. That's a comedy that
oh
I
yeah,
love, and that show ended decent. Um, There's
Yes.
another show that is very
But there's
controversial because of
shows like that. Shows like that, though, you kind of you enjoy them so much, and I understand what you're saying. Like, yes, they do need to end because all good things must end.
like The
And
Simpsons, like The Simpsons. I guess I
yeah,
would say the new Simpson episodes they're awful. I can't watch them. They just don't make sense. None of the continuity makes
you don't want to
sense.
see you don't want to see a good show that you love end up like The Simpsons.
End up like The Simpsons. Yes.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I do. It's I get it. It's the circle of life. The
It is.
circle of life. Yeah, I mean, it needs to happen. I get it. But at the same time, like, there's a lot of people. And not, again, like, I know that it needs to end. I don't want it to end. I'm
Right.
not ready. It's like,
Just not
if
ready
they
yet.
end It's Always Sunny, and we know that
Well, see,
it's
that's the show I
possible.
was about to bring over. Was like,
We're not ready. I'm not ready.
I, I'm not, I'm not ready, but
I would rather them end it than to go on without Dennis. I don't want them to not have Dennis.
I would rather them in that show this following season, like this be the last season, because I didn't like some of the episodes from the previous season. I didn't like,
Really? I thought they were,
yeah, I didn't like Cricket's Tail.
really?
Yeah, no, I really did not like that episode.
It was definitely a spin-off.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But
I
that
mean, it
was
flowed
Cricket has
because
been listen, I'm going to justify that for you. Cricket has been around so long, and he's been an ongoing joke. He's been a ongoing joke every time we've seen him. When he would pop up throughout the series, he got worse and worse. He looked worse and worse, and it was like, and the justification is that we've seen so much of him, but he's just pop in and out. We never did get to see any like day in the life type stuff. So
well,
the justification for that is we kind of got to see what Cricket did on his daily routine. Now that's not why we tune in and watch, no, but it was nice. It was a nice spin for the series. I didn't hate it. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I'm not too critical when it comes to It's Always Sunny.
I'm pretty critical about it.
Season 10, though, I take that back. Season 10 could have been, I thought they were working on the downhill slope, but then they come back pretty strong with season 11. So,
Season 12, I just didn't feel. I wasn't feeling some of the episodes. Some of the episodes were hits, and I feel like some of them were not. And
other than the Cricket's Tail, what else was not
the Cricket's
what,
Tail,
like,
not a hit for me. Some of them really weren't even memorable. I really don't freaking remember. But we're not talking about.
yeah, well, I'm sorry. Anyways, but yeah, I get what you're saying. All good shows must end, and I agree with you. There's a part of me that doesn't want Dragon Ball to like end. I kind of want them to keep going, but at the same time, like I said earlier, they really need to stop with Super. Like, I can grasp the concept that they scaled up, but after this, like, where are they going to go after the multiverse? Like, they need to stop. That needs to be the end. I can come to grips and say that.
Okay. I didn't
That's
like.
the point.
Okay, back to It's Always Sunny because I feel like the question went unanswered. I didn't like A Cricket's Tail. I really didn't like how the last episode was after A Cricket's Tail either. Like, that was not all right with me.
Yeah.
The Gang Tens bar was good. PTSD was good. Hero or Hate Crime was all right. I enjoyed it. Making
That one was
Dennis Reynolds a murderer was all right.
was an instant classic, if you ask me. I enjoyed
I
it.
loved that one. Yeah. I didn't like Wolf Cola, A Public Relations Nightmare. I didn't like that one. I didn't like the first episode of season 12, The Gang Turns Black. I didn't like that one either.
You didn't like that one?
Mm-mm.
Why? What was about that one you didn't like?
It was just odd. I don't know. It was an odd episode. It didn't feel like it flowed very well. I like the concept of the episode.
It was a social. It was a social topic.
Yeah, I see that. But
So anything that's a social topic, and so was the Wolf Cola. That was a social topic as well. I'm not as critical. I get that. I want to. They've had some hit and miss seasons. Like season 10 was more of a down season, if you ask me, and this season could definitely fall into that category, but not as. I don't think as bad as season 10. Season 10 was probably. I thought season 10 was definitely getting close to the end, and then they bounced back well with 11 and
11
12
was pretty good, especially the last two episodes of 11. I really liked
Yes.
that one.
Those were hilarious. But anyways, back. We can't. This isn't Always Sunny podcast. This
Yeah.
is Dragon Ball. So let's see. We talked about our games. Let's talk about the most recent game, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. When did it come out? Yesterday? Day before?
Yesterday, the day before yesterday. It dropped fairly recent this week, or last week, I guess technically, because we're recording this on Sunday.
And that might be the best game of the franchise.
I really enjoy the animation of this game. I've not played it. I really enjoy the animation, though. Really enjoy it.
I've looked up a lot of the beta plays on Team 4 Stars. Not to promote those guys again, but they did a let's play of the beta, and it looked great. It looked phenomenal, if you ask me. I like the I don't know how you call that frame, like that Mortal Kombat, that Street Fighter frame.
Yeah, I really enjoy.
How would you call that? You're my go-to guy with these questions. What would you call that? Like a side-scrolling fighter? That's not right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not right because you can move around, I think, in the arena, but it is from the side view, right? You're looking at your character's side. You're not
like a Xenoverse and all over the, like a full 3D layout, which I didn't care for.
It is considered a 2.5D fighting game.
2.5D. I looked that up too. Yeah,
but it seems to be fairly good game, and it released Friday. Released the 26th. Yeah. But I'm playing lots of PUBG to make money off crates and items to sell to get up enough money to hopefully purchase this game.
I will definitely get that game
for PC.
Yeah, I'll get it for PC. 'Cause I think you can team battle, can't you?
I think so. I know you can fight each other. Which hopefully, if we get that, we'll be able to upload for you guys. Fight.
Yes, that would be awesome.
This animation, I love it in this. Oh man, it's beautiful.
It is. I enjoy it as well.
I really enjoyed also Battle of Z. I really enjoyed the animation in it too.
Ooh, I have that game. Have not played it.
It's a good.
Got it from you, didn't I?
Yep.
Yeah, I have that game. I need to throw it in and try it out. But was it good? You enjoyed it?
Oh yeah. I really enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy the fact that you had to go back and.
You could. Okay. Wait. You just stopped. Never mind. Go ahead.
No, you had to like. It felt like every Dragon Ball Z game feels like it recaps the whole Dragon Ball Z series, and I'm just like, please stop.
Yeah,
Oh, we didn't talk about
it
the
does.
movies. Let's save
Ooh.
those. Let's save those for their own. Might be number 2. We jump in on the movies.
Might be what? I'm
We
sorry, you're cutting.
we might break this up into a 2-parter and jump in on the movies.
Yeah, I think we. Let's do that because I could probably talk some more about just other anything. There's a lot of ground to cover when you're talking
There's a
about
lot of
Dragon Ball.
ground, and seems like we might have just, you know, didn't get very far. We'll say that we
No,
haven't
it
gotten
doesn't.
very
It doesn't.
far.
It seems like we could, and we should probably like. I don't even know how long we've been talking. How long have we been going?
Right now, the audience, we've been going for an hour and 6 minutes. So,
Oh wow, yeah. Then let's. We don't need to. Yeah. Let's make this let's make this a two-parter.
yeah, we're definitely going to revisit this, come back with some more, but um, the show's great. Lots of things
Yes.
from this is excellent, is great. And
Yeah.
you should check it out.
Make sure you check it out. Make sure you, Chris, and you guys at home, if you got a Game Boy Advance or
Oh yeah,
you
yeah. I'm
want
like
to
I
watch
said.
an emulator on your PC, uh, but check out the Legacy of Goku 1, the Legacy of Goku 2, and Dragon Ball Z Boo's Fury. Boo's Fury. Yeah, that's the third installment. Yeah. Those are Game Boy Advance games. And I'd say they're probably by far the best Dragon Ball game handheld games. I can't speak altogether.
The little bit that you showed me of them, I say that they're up there definitely.
Yeah, especially because they're the Game Boy Advance. Like you're probably thinking like, who the hell wants to play a Game Boy Advance game? Like, play these games; they're phenomenal, and they are a recap of. It's basically broke down from Legacy of Goku is the Saiyan and Namek saga. Legacy of Goku 2 is the Android and Cell saga, and obviously Boo's Fury is everything after Cell, the World Tournament and Boo saga. Yeah, I enjoy them. They're good games.
They are good games. All right. Well, that's been this episode, this week's
And we
episode
can call this part one of
Part
anything
one.
Dragon Ball.
of anything Dragon Ball, including It's Always Sunny.
Yeah. Didn't mean to do that, but we were talking about shows. And
Yeah, we were talking about shows.
it was
and
relevant.
It was relevant to the conversation. But we went off a little bit, but this has been this episode. We're gonna wrap it up. Tune in for part 2, and we'll see you guys later.
See you guys next time. 2 guys, 1 pod.